Duchess woke. Meghan Markle pitches documentary about Black Lives Matter founder for $112 million Netflix deal. This is her. This is the founder. This is Patrisse Cullors. And she is one of three founders of the BLM movement. And this all happened with the death when Trayvon Martin was killed, and the acquittal of George Zimmerman for the shooting death of Trayvon Martin. George Zimmerman is a Latino. And it began with a simple hashtag Black Lives Matter before people began taking to the streets to protest. Patrisse Cullors says, Black Lives Matter is a spiritual movement. Patrisse Cullors is an interesting person because she is an Ifa Voodoo practitioner and a high priestess. There's a precept in war that says you ought to know your enemy. The real enemy manifesting through BLM has not been identified by most. It's actually demons working through people. In fact, that's part of the strategy of their founders. So uplifting the names, so Cullors says, uplifting the names of victims goes beyond creating hashtags. So they constantly chant the names of the quote victims. It is literally almost resurrecting a spirit so they can work through us to get the work that we need to get done, she said. By highlighting their names, Cullors said she feels personally connected and responsible and accountable to them, both from a deeply political place, but also from a deeply spiritual place. Cullors touched on West African traditions that center on remembering ancestors. So Ifa is big on ancestor worship. Ifa it's a Yoruba religion. It's a form of voodoo, which is witchcraft. So I want to take a look at this because this is interesting. And there's a quote in the Bible, Ephesians 6:12, for our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. And so events and circumstances occurring on the earth are not just physical, as above, so below. That's the Lord's Prayer, as above, so below. That's witchcraft. They will say, there's a passage in the Bible, as I bind on the earth, so shall it be bound in heaven. As I loose on the earth, so shall it be loosed in heaven. As above, so below. And that is how spiritual works work. The other thing that's happening is there's a hashtag out, cancel Netflix, because of the movie Cuties, where it's a bunch of little girls. I think they're like 11 years old, and they're doing a lot of twerking and sexual movements. And I want to see if a lot of people on the threads are saying that they lost $9 billion. Netflix lost $9 billion in one day this week. And a lot of people are saying, well, it's because Harry and Meghan joined Netflix, they got that contract. Or is it because of this Cuties movie? I tend to think it's because of the Cuties movie. Netflix shareholders lose $9 billion in one day. Good day, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel. Time for a spot of royalty. This is a picture of Patrisse Cullors doing sort of a performance art. But this is, she's kind of a Marina Abramovic-ish. And look at how different her body type is from the last photo I showed you. So this looks kind of, Marina Abramovic does literal, satanic ceremonies with blood and fake human sacrifices and cannibalism. This looks very similar to that. So let's take a look at this, because the genesis, what's underneath things, is really kind of important. Is the BLM founded upon voodoo? Because all three of the ladies who founded the BLM, they're like close buds, and they're all practitioners of Ifa, which is voodoo, but it's West African, so it's kind of like, they don't want to practice Christianity because Christianity is, not an African religion, so they say. Stuff like that. So it could also just be that, or it could be really demonic. So let's take a look. Is BLM founded upon, voodoo? Is that what's going on? Let's look at the foundation of the BLM. there's the devil. This is a very interesting read. What have we got? Trying to make progress, and it's about the foundation and the structure. They keep saying they want to change the system, systematic bigotry, systematic sexism. It's the system that they're trying to change. We have 2 5s. 5s are change. And the basis of what's going on here is problems that they see in society. And they want to make fundamental changes to the structure of society. 14 4 diamonds. So 2 4s and 2 5s. Changes to the structure. Commitment and good intentions. Okay, so BLM is based on good intentions, and they want to make fundamental changes to society. This is interesting. Okay, transformation, water into wine, through long-term communication over the long term. They want long-term change and transformation. But here we have the devil and no. So the devil is evil and no is full stop. So the devil and no, this, let's see, no, okay, so yeah, 9 diamonds is an angel card, and the devil. So fallen angels, and then 10 clubs mirroring 9 spades. This is anarchy. You know, it leads to, this transformation leads to something very evil, okay? They have good intentions, but if they get what they want, it leads to something very, very evil. And so ultimately behind it, you know, ultimately behind it, they do have very powerful demonic forces behind it. They don't seem to be that aware of it. Okay, that's why it's called a great deception. They do have good intentions. They're committed to good works and good intentions and fundamental change, but it leads to a very bad place if they get what they want. You know, that's kind of like, be careful what you wish for, because, you know, you might get it. Why is Harry not mentioned? You know, only Meghan is mentioned. This is Meghan's project to pitching a documentary on the BLM. I thought they were in this together. Why wouldn't they be doing everything together? You know, is Harry like, ooh, I want to do this thing. This is really a sweet one. I'm going to do this, and you can't have any part of it, Meghan. Do you think Harry's going to do that? No, that's not going to happen. Okay, the sweetest deals, Meghan's definitely going to get a cut. She's going to get the biggest cut. She's going to get the biggest piece of that pie. Okay, so why isn't Harry involved? Where is Harry on this? Why isn't he mentioned? Where's Harry on this? Why is Harry not mentioned? Fox, clever and practical and strategizing. 8 and 12, 25 spades. He's reacting to what people are saying. He is concerned that this is a problem. He's concerned that this will create problems for him, so he doesn't want his name on it. Interesting. Snake. So we have a whole bunch of female cards. We have 3 queens, 3 female energy cards. Mother Earth, Snake, and 4-leaf clover. 24, 28, 7 spades. Okay, 28. So Queen of Spades, Snake, Mother Earth, vengeful against the situation and very secretly taking this opportunity to insinuate, to sow discord. So Harry feels that this is secretly, they have an extra agenda going on. BLM seems to be not what it appears. You know, maybe it's not about equality, maybe it's not about rights for black and brown people. There's a lot more going on under the surface, and there's a lot of very insidious things there's going on under the surface, and Harry doesn't want to be a part of that. Did the Queen tell Harry to stay out of it? Did the royal family instruct Harry not to be a part of this BLM stuff? Because they're very famously apolitical, not political. Cross is permanent family, decisions about the permanent family, very emotional decisions about the and directions. 17, so this is 12, 22, 6 diamonds. He's very emotional about this decision. So I asked, did the Queen tell him not to? Woman, big change, committed to big change. 14, 4 diamonds. So I think Meghan is committed to this big change. He's more part of, I don't know. He's the royal family is very much old school, very much old structure. And one of the interesting things that's happening in all this wokeness is, okay, the lesbians and the gay community are joining with the Muslims, okay, to get their things done. Well, interestingly, the Muslims hate the gays and the lesbians. Okay, so as soon as the Muslims get any power, they're going to completely decimate the gays and the lesbians. And it's like, and maybe that's what Harry is seeing. He's like, he wants to go a different direction. He's very emotional about this. He wants to go a different direction. This is definitely Meghan's thing. That's interesting. Yeah, so I think Harry joining with the BLM is like the gays and lesbians joining with the Muslims, because in the end, the Muslims are going to kill the gays and lesbians, and they're absolutely intolerant of them. They're absolutely intolerant of the gays and lesbians. And it's interesting that the gay and lesbian people are so against Western democracy, Christianity, because all the rights and freedoms that they have only exist in the West under Christianity, and they're destroying the system that gave them all of the freedoms that they now enjoy, and they're trading it for, if you get Sharia, they're going to throw the gays and lesbians off the buildings and kill them, which is what they do in their countries. So, and that's just truth. Okay, so we've got cancel Netflix trending. They lost $9 billion. Netflix lost $9 billion in one market cap in one day. How much of this is because of Harry and Meghan joining? Is any of this because of Harry and Meghan joining, or is it all just because of that Cuties movie? All right, cancel Netflix. How much of this is because of Harry and Meghan? Karmic lovers and karmic relationship, 8, 8, 16, 4 spades, secrets in the box. They have a good relationship with the world. Harry and Meghan have a good relationship with the people of the world. Finger of God coming from outside. We have sevens. Sevens return forever. 6 is relationships. 2 is close relationship, 2 people. 14, 18, 5 diamonds. Finger of God. Events coming from outside. Secrets and this direction. And okay, so no, it's outside events. It's outside events. That it's not Meghan and Harry. It's that other movie that everybody is talking about. That nonsense. And that movie, the Cuties movie, it's from France, and it won awards at Cannes Film Festival. I think it was very well received in France because the French are very different than us. They're very sexually liberated, so they were okay with it. But America is not the same. America is not France. France is France, and it's very different. And if you've ever been to France, you'll know this, because all the beaches are topless. Grandma's topless. the little babies are running around naked, and I'm like, oh no, please put some sunscreen on those little babies because they're so pale. Uh, it's just different. It's a different situation to go to the beach in France. I was at Nice, which is very nice. So, is the Queen and the Royals, are they very against this super woke direction, this BLM? How do they feel about this BLM documentary? Are they like okay with it? The Queen and the Royals. For the Queen and the Royals. So we have disaster, planting the seeds of disaster. The ruler is just giving them all the rope they need to hang themselves. Direct action on the deep foundation. Let's see, 26, 36, 37, 43. Jack of diamonds, player. No, Jack of clubs. Doing this may be planting the seeds of destruction for Meghan and Harry. So cornucopia, hand in hand, 14, and Jack of clubs, 25. Okay, this is Meghan's foundation with all the people and how they're going to make money. This is her foundation and everything and how they're going to make money. So the royal family, they're just leaving it alone. They're giving them all the rope they need to hang themselves, especially Meghan. They're giving them all the rope they need to hang themselves. They're not reacting at all at this time. They're going to wait. They're playing the wait and see game, and they're going to react as each new thing comes up. All right, let's review what we have. Is the BLM founded upon voodoo? Well, there's a lot of good intentions here, and they're trying to change the structure. But if they get what they want, it leads to disaster. It leads to a new Zimbabwe and a new South Africa. That's what it's going to lead to. Okay, and if you defund the police and you have no police, it's going to be anarchy in the street. Whatever you think of, and there are bad police. They need to fix things with the police, but you don't need to eliminate them. Why is Harry not mentioned? It's just Meghan is doing this. Well, Harry is kind of stepping out. He's staying away from it. He considers this too extreme kind of a problem, and there's definitely another agenda going on, and he's concerned about associating himself too closely with BLM. So that's wise. He's finally showing some wisdom. Two, three. Oh, okay, that's 2. Oh, cancel Netflix. Oh, well, here's the cancel Netflix. 3. Did the Queen tell Harry not to be part of the BLM? Well, this is Meghan's bailiwick, and he doesn't want to violate too much. Maybe his advisors are finally talking to him. His advisors are telling him, don't go too far afield from what the royal family does. Don't go too far afield. Then you won't be able to come back. If you go too far afield, you won't be able to come back because his structure is still the royal family, which is good. He's a royal. That's his only claim to fame. Okay, cancel Netflix. Is any of this about Meghan and Harry? They lost $9 billion in market cap. No, it's that other movie. People are not upset with Meghan and Harry, and interesting, they have a good image in the public. They still have a good image in the public, and people, are happy to see them, and their image has not been tarnished to the point that people don't want to see them. What does the Queen think of this super woke? This is planting the seeds of destruction, just giving them rope to hang themselves, and there's not going to be any reaction at this time. So, yeah, I think it's very interesting that Harry is he's not participating in this. I find that very interesting. And there is definitely some demonic influence, but it's hidden, it's deception. The the people who are doing the BLM and even running the BLM, they're deceived. They don't see they're being deceived. These spirits, they live forever, and they're pretty clever. I mean, they're deceiving spirits, so they're pretty clever. That's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, the Magi Method. Find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Many thanks to the generous folks who bought me a cup of tea. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and comment.